thought it was early.
Yeah.
Little bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, so
It is now.
how's your third? First snowfall of the year.
It's not.
It is though.
It's the first visible one. It snowed like
Okay,
2 days ago.
That's true.
It's been snowing every night, just not enough
Really?
for you to like realize
Okay, well
it
that's
the day
what
after.
I meant. Like,
Yeah,
that's
no.
the first snowfall.
Bro, I was so
Right.
happy when I like went upstairs and I saw it. I was like,
Oh, yeah?
"Yay, we're back!"
you know for sure people are like, fuck,
Yeah,
fucking snow.
it's
man.
funny. It's funny when people who live here complain about the snow, like who've lived here, like who were
Yeah.
born here, complain
Bro,
about like the snow. It's like
I'm starting
nigga,
to love the cold.
you know,
like-
like it's been 20 years. Like
Yeah.
what? Like you're just gonna forget the fact that it's gonna snow again for fucking 8 months? Like, you know?
That too, but like also because like the cold showers and shit. And I showed you the video just now.
Oh yeah, bro, that shit's
Like
so.
lying down.
Can you send me that so I could put it
Masturbate to it.
that
Yeah,
and then
sure.
also put it over the thing if I
Oh, yeah,
edit
yeah.
it that much
Sure.
because I've changed how I edit. But 33,
33. Holy shit.
33, yeah.
It's always like,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
take it in every week,
yeah.
bro. What have you been up to? I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a week.
It's been a
It's been 7 days.
That's
man.
fucking crazy,
Fuck.
dude.
It's actually pretty long.
Yeah, that's a
Like,
long time. We're very close dudes, you know, basically
Yeah.
boyfriend and boyfriend.
Boyfriend and
We're
boyfriend.
we're basically boyfriend and day friend. But
Basically, day friend and night friend.
yeah, what you
But
been up
what
to?
have I been up to, man? Man, like nothing really. Like fucking school, like work.
Mm.
No color. I dropped it a month ago, around, but
It's already been a month.
probably like
3 weeks.
yeah towards that. But like I've realized like the time it takes to make the shirts is too long. Like it's not worth the money.
Mm.
Like it's expensive to begin with, and no one like
Yeah,
pays it
yeah,
because like no one wants to buy it. It's too expensive. But
yeah.
the time it takes to actually make it is too much. So I think I'm gonna just like stick to the one of ones.
Mm.
Maybe get a screen printer eventually.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now. Cause I was thinking after Yin. Okay, what is this? Monday. So this Friday, Yin will be coming out.
Yeah.
I should have announced it by now. So
I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it too. I don't know what it's gonna turn out to be. It's just channeling right now. It's
Yeah.
actually funny because at first I conceptualized it as a documentary, but like that's actually what it is. Like chronologically, like documented the past 2 months, like
Sick.
perfectly just fell. Everything just fell just came together.
That's beautiful.
Like one of the songs literally like, even though it was one of the first songs I made, it's like, it's the feeling I feel right now after all the shit I just told you. It's a track, you can see it after on the archives. It's the 8th track, which the title just literally just tells you what it is. I don't want to say the title because I shouldn't have the track list out. But the whole process of making that has been very weird. I don't think I want to make projects in months anymore. Like spontaneity is cool,
yeah.
but like taking your time is also cool. Cause now like,
Well, especially for music, right?
Yeah, I've been like 5 hours, like up to 5 hours. I don't think I've had more than 5 hours of sleep the past like 2 days.
That's fucked.
So, and tonight I don't think I'm gonna sleep because I need to mix everything and then have it sent off, submitted before it's out next Friday. If I want it to be out in time.
Damn, bro, you're a hard worker. I would not. Well,
Sure.
yeah, if I had a deadline, I'd probably
Yeah.
not sleep either. But
It's drive. I don't know. I don't really think about it. It's cool.
bro, I have trouble fucking like waking up in the morning. Like, I still have trouble waking up in the morning.
Same,
I always
yeah.
fall back asleep.
Same.
I wonder why that is.
It's a
though.
crazy game, bro. It's like, I think you meditate before you go to sleep, like right before,
Yeah.
like the last thing you do.
Last thing
That's
I do.
crazy. Cause me, the reason why I have trouble going to sleep, I have trouble waking up. All the times that I can't wake up properly will be times that I just was doing like
on your phone.
dumb, stupid like shit that don't matter right before falling asleep.
Mm.
But every time I meditate before going to sleep, waking up is way easier.
Yeah.
Which is,
I feel
think,
that too.
just set your intention. I think that's the game. You should just set your intention for, like, sometimes I'll be like, even though it's 1 and I'm gonna wake up at 6:39, like, and I'm just getting 5 hours sleep, I'm going to wake up at 6:39.
Yeah.
And
well,
then
if it's yeah,
just setting,
I
priming
feel
your
that
brain for
because
that.
if it's like if there's a necessity to it,
yeah.
then it's so much easier.
It's not even a necessity. It's like sometimes I'll just want to wake up early because I really love waking up before the sun and like watching it rise. It's so peaceful, right? So, but I mean, it's really up to you. Maybe it's just because you're just a night owl.
I'm definitely not.
Oh, okay. Then.
I'm just fucking. My willpower is weak.
But I don't know. Just build it.
Yeah.
Set your alarm to the same. That's what I think. A lot of people say that actually. Not even. I was gonna say Jordan Peterson, but I got it from him. It's like go to sleep at the same time and wake up at the same time every day. Preferably wake up at the same time more than go to sleep at the same time. But if you wake up at the same time every day, like try it for a week. Like I don't know. Try a time that you can wake up every day without having it conflict with your schedule. Right. Like even if you're working early, you'd have time to still have a morning. Just set that time every day, even if it's like no matter how late you go to sleep, just set your alarm. Even if you don't wake up, just set your alarm for that time every morning.
And sometimes like being ambitious kind of hurts because I'll be like, fuck, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow at 6:30, fucking work out, go for a run.
Yeah.
6:30, I'm like, fuck, it's way too early. Like if I had set my alarm for 8:30 instead, or even 7:30, I would have got up.
It's a long game.
Yeah.
It's like tweaking. It's like you try this.
You have to be like
doesn't
practical.
Work. I've been trying to figure out sleep for a long time. We should probably read a book on it.
I actually, my mom actually just told me today that I snore in my sleep.
Say weird.
I didn't know. Like I catch myself sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I thought generally I'm like a nose breather during my sleep. But I guess not. I think that has a huge part to play.
Get the tape.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna do that tonight.
Yeah, or like the whatever people do to like whatever.
Just tape. Cheapest way.
What else was that? We wanted to talk about a few things. I've been reading Homo Deus, but I feel like I want to leave that for another episode. Because like the main idea I got from it so far is it's not really technically, I mean, I don't think he's at the part, maybe he's just going to talk about future technologies and shit like that, but he's really just trying to make you understand like why we are where we are. Like Sapiens was history, but now he's just trying to tell you like our relationship with like this world that we live in and how like wild animals are going extinct and domesticated animals are at an all-time high, and how it's not consciousness or emotions that have like separated us from the other species. It's funny enough our ability to work together in large groups.
Right.
It's our ability to pass you an idea that doesn't necessarily objectively exist, but you can hold on to it, and we can like
back and forth
create
build
it. Yeah, create its existence together. Like like me looking at you right now and knowing that money is important, and everything we have here is because of money, and why we're in this establishment is because of money. Like the school is an idea. Like it's just a bunch of ideas. And I don't know where we get that from. That's where they don't. Like, it's funny because science still doesn't understand consciousness.
Right. Like what point in evolution that caused it?
That book is from 2016. It came out, I think he was writing in 2016. He mentioned 2016 shit. And like up until 2016, niggas still didn't know. They know like neurotransmitters and like things that happens in your brains, like the connections when you do this, that, like what triggers anger and blah, blah, blah. But where consciousness comes from, no idea.
I've heard in podcasts that like the development of our brain size and like just like working together and just evolution, like when evolution started like becoming just rapid, we grew together with plants, so mushrooms, weed, just like agriculture in general. So that could have a huge factor because as we all know from psychedelic trips, like that makes you think way outside the box.
Like, connections in your brain that never get made in the normal state.
That's probably a huge factor.
And it's also interesting because you keep those things after. Like it definitely unlocks something in your brain. Like after your first trip, like you don't see the world the same way.
Like
and it
for the whole week you're
even
like,
if you forget the lessons, there's still something that changes in your brain because it's a point of no return. It's like cracks something open, opens a box, a Pandora's box, and you're just like, okay, there's this whole world that I didn't know about, and then you could just keep tripping or whatever. But yeah, man, like everything's been like not good or bad. Everything's just been.
Yeah.
And it's crazy saying that and then experiencing it after. Like experiencing it and saying it are two different things. And it's the thing we were talking about before we started recording about like like knowledge and wisdom. Like it's so easy to look smart.
Yeah.
Like what was I telling you? Homo Deus is just shit that the nigga like knows. I read it and I'm regurgitating it back to you.
Yeah.
But
easy.
It's easy, right? If you have like a decent memory, you can
it's like
look
quoting.
smart.
It's like quoting things like, oh, this is
right? It's like the kid who has good marks in university, but all they do is just memorize. You know,
Bro,
and they look smart because they have a fucking
coincidence. I was listening to a podcast today with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Coincidence.
And Tim Ferriss. He was saying like the way he grew up had a huge factor. Well, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
But like his parents never like forced him to go one certain route. They were more like, hey, like here's a few books, read, and then they kind of like chose. Okay, so he picks these books.
Yeah.
Which means he's kind of interested in that route. So they kind of just fed his interests. And also he was saying that
that's so cool.
Right? Bro, like becoming a parent that's going to be like fun.
It's a simple game, but people's flaws get in the way.
And he's also saying like marks don't mean shit because we've talked about this before.
They don't.
But he's saying like like you could take a difficult class and get a C.
Yeah.
But that challenged you.
Yeah.
Now you have something valuable.
If it's a C that you tried hard for, then it's as valuable as an A.
And whereas if you just go a bird course, you get an A. What are you learning? Like everyone else is doing that same thing. So where you get the edge is taking the difficult path.
Yeah.
And even if it's a C, like no one asks you what your grade is after your first job.
No one asks you what your grade is, period, after uni.
Yeah.
Unless you're going into like the very technical shit, like we don't even know if that's for real, but we just assume.
But you know who does ask? Parents.
Yeah.
And he also is touching upon that, like
yeah, basically.
Like okay, his parents never really cared. Like he'd get B's and C's. It's fine. Like he's passing, so his parents would never be like, "Where's that A? Why is it not an A plus?" Right?
Yeah. You could keep.
And that allowed him to like the reason he wasn't like he could have got A pluses. But he was doing shit on the side. Like he was in like many clubs that he had to give his time to. So if he sacrificed those clubs, he's like, okay, no, I'm going to focus completely on school and get all these A pluses.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be the same person he is today. He wouldn't get as much value. He wouldn't be as smart as he is today.
Experience. He wanted the experience, not the... Bro, it's process.
Yeah.
Process. It's like, doesn't matter. The results don't really matter. It's like, what did you learn on the way there? You know, like the results are just byproduct. Gets confused, bro.
We confuse that a lot.
I said this to Tim very like in a very nigga way. It's like everyone's so preoccupied with chasing the bag, but what they don't realize is like if you become the bag, like life chases you. It's the same thing with everything. It's like what do people tell you when they give you advice on women? It's like stop chasing women. You could just look at one and say, hey, you look great, and then just walk away. Or just like, that's it. But what do? We say, hey, you look great. It's like, what is she going to say? Like, you know, it's like, what's going to be a reaction to this? So it's like, it's the same with everything. It's the same with everything we've been saying. It's like the only part where what you do matters is the work. Sitting down every day to work on this next garment. Sitting down every day to work on this next song, this next project, this next collection, this next film, this next whatever. Everything else just happens.
Yeah. And I was telling you about, like yesterday, I made the group chat, right? For the Changing the World group chat. Basically.
Neo Magna Carta, yeah.
Like Dada called me and we had a long talk and he wanted me to kind of just like facilitate like generating ideas.
You know what's funny? How you couldn't just say change the world. You just had to do something. Right, I had to like,
yeah. Because it's
conditioning, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, he wanted me to like just generate a few ideas, like make a team. Yeah. Create a team that we already have, like Ananda Market, like the yoga club, people from there. Yeah. And it's a huge task. Like he wanted us to basically, he had a vision, a scenario which is basically, I can't even remember it. Let me fucking read it. Like it's so ambitious. So create a movement that expresses the aspirations of all humanity, including the environment. all under one like organization or one movement, which is huge because like fucking religions have tried that for years.
Yeah,
like never works.
It's because there's no one way to do things. I think that's the tricky part. Because the thing about religion is this one person or group of people agree on one thing, but the thing is not all advice is good advice. So just because they agree on this doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone else, because everyone else is their own people. Yeah, and they have their own like set of experiences that has led them to where they are now. So it's like religion tries to mold you into what the people who created the religion believe, right? So it's like the game is figuring out how you get a lot of people involved without clashing, like having everyone still being able to agree, even though, like our conversation with Fritz, it's like we don't agree on everything, but we can still sit down and have a civil conversation and hug each other after, and still like hit the person up. That's the whole thing. It's like, bro, like as much as we try to divide each other, the reason why we've colonized this earth is because of our ability to work together.
Yeah.
So it's in our nature. Like it's what sets us apart. That's why everything your life is just leads up to you collaborating with other people. You can't be alone forever. Being alone is just a part of, it's just a stage in your life, right? And even if you're doing something alone, you're not really alone. Like you're watching YouTube videos, someone else helping you through the cloud, you know? Yeah. So you're not like, it's the thing we said, it's like dependence, independence, and then interdependence, which leads to unity. So it's like, it's just stages. But how do you do that? I don't know.
Because like on paper, religion is ideal.
Everything sounds great theoretically. Amazing. Communism sounds great in theory.
Once you put it in practice.
Yeah. That's the game though. That's why, I mean, I'm assuming this shit's not gonna like be what we envision it to be in our lifetime. Like Steve died without probably his vision fully realized, but he saw that it was on the right track. You know, it's crazy. Like that's him and Waz, bro. Him and Waz in the garage. Like Waz built the fucking circuit board, which was basically the future of computing. Like I didn't understand until I watched like both movies, because there's two biographies. One came out in 2013, like a year after he died, and then one came out 2016 or 2015, which is the one I like that one better because Aaron Sorkin, fucking crazy screenplay writer. The dialogue is so good. You should watch it. The dialogue sounds like music. Like when you watch it.
I saw your story on it.
When you watch it, bro, like listen to it's so fucking like pleasing to listen to. And it's like it's intense. It doesn't need a soundtrack behind it, but it's just those two guys. And then it's funny because Apple II was like a success or whatever, but it was still like a normal computer for nerds. It wasn't really like personal yet, right? Steve wanted to make it personal, but Woz was like, nah, like let's make it open ended. People can do whatever, add whatever they want to it, and then it was a success because of that. But then Steve always wanted personal computing, and he was also like kind of like had some narcissistic traits. So it was like it needs to be end-to-end control. Like you can't not compatible with anything else, which was a lot about his personality, right? So it's crazy how flawed he was, and the reason why Apple was so great is because of him trying to make up for his flaws through creating something greater than himself. It's like he was so aware of how fucked up he was. And even though he never really said it like out loud, it's like he always knew. And then everything he did, like his perfectionism, trying to make everything perfect and like control everything, that was just him trying to gain that lack of control that he had himself growing up. So it's like, but the crazy thing is, all this to say, it's like, it was just an idea that both those guys came up with. And then after the Apple II, he started working on a Lisa, which failed because it was too much money. He was way too ahead of his time. Like the resources were just not there enough and cheap enough to like make profit. And then Macintosh came out. It failed, and it's what got him fired. But he got fired from the company he started. That's what got him fired. But the thing is, Microsoft copied that. Because Macintosh was the first computer where you could use a mouse.
Really?
Where you could drag things around your screen or whatever. Beforehand, it was like code. You have to code shit to move it around. You have to know that it's
fucking crazy.
centimeters to the left, centimeters down or up. So like he knew he wanted to make it for the people, not for the nerds or
right.
The whole thing is, bro, it's just computers and it's nerd shit. But his whole idea was that
accessibility.
A human by himself without any of his external tools is like low food chain. But give a human a bike and now he's like can travel further. Like give human tools and they just start to be able to do crazy shit. And to him, he was trying to create the bicycle for the mind. He wanted to, like the 1984 commercial, that's Big Brother. He wanted to like give people the power to like battle Big Brother, which is what he did because I'm selling hoodies off of this shit.
It's crazy.
I don't need anyone. I don't need to go see anyone to allow me to do anything.
No stores,
I don't even, bro,
nothing.
this is probably not even legal, but I can still do it. I don't need to go through the machine anymore. So, but that's two guys.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking amazing, bro. Like,
That's
they
two
just had a
guys.
vision and now it's here.
An idea. An idea is just an idea until it's realized. Bro, money is just an idea. I was just telling you, like, money is just an idea, but like people
also
die
energy.
over it, right? People die over it. Like it doesn't exist, but people die over it. Countries, religions, basketball teams, it's all ideas, but people die over it. So it's like, yes, you can change the world.
Yeah. See, it's so funny. We have to laugh.
You know,
at the end of that sentence.
like, yes, you can. Everything tells you can't because it's not bringing
it's
ideas.
such a huge task.
Bro, you've seen a mother give birth. It's like, how the fuck can you do that? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you give birth?
And it does come back to process.
Gotta keep pushing, bro.
Like
It's
it's
process.
so overwhelming. Like in the group chat yesterday, like I'm not gonna name the member obviously, but like
It's overwhelming.
it was overwhelming. So he kind of just left. Lazy excuse, just left.
Yeah. And yeah, that's like a big thing. I've been feeling overwhelmed for the past like 6 months. But I don't know. It's like,
You learn to control it too, man. Like I had a presentation yesterday,
yeah.
and like the day before,
Yeah.
like 2 days ago, the day before presenting, I was kind of panicking. Like, fuck, I'm gonna be in front of the class. They're gonna ask me questions, blah blah blah. But then once you actually just
Flow.
you just flow. Like I wasn't even
Just
like
being.
my heart rate was so normalized. Like when I was presenting, so you kind of just learn to like it's not either good or bad.
Yeah. Bro, Wim Hof, bro, we need to get more serious on that.
Yeah, bro. My
bro,
social innovation class, like I'm actually writing a paper on it, and interesting shit. Like it's not really about like that itself is an innovation, right? Like he's taken
100%.
methods from the East and brought it here to science. So now it becomes, how do you innovate on the innovation in order to expose the public to it?
Spread.
Yeah. More awareness, because accessibility is there, but it's just awareness that is lacking.
I think it's important to note that he came across it 30 years before it like started picking up. So for 30 years he got made fun of, mocked.
Crazy.
Like he said it. He says it in an interview, I think, with London Real. I'll try to put the link. I will put the link. He says it. It's he came across it through whatever happened, and then he started doing it. But the entire time, people are mocking him. It's the pattern. I had sent you this. I sent you this, and Tim this too. It's a pattern, bro. When you realize this pattern, you just start to like believe in your bro. Stubbornness and self-awareness are so dangerous together, because if stubbornness can be a negative trait, but it can also be a very powerful trait. Because without stubbornness, SpaceX wouldn't have been a thing. Because I'm pretty sure I told you this too after we recorded with Fritz.
All his friends were.
It's fucking like
him.
when he launched SpaceX, when he founded it, all his family members and friends did. Close friends, not even like random niggas that he doesn't know. Like people will care about him through caring, of course, but it's like parenting. You overprotect your child from caring too much, but he ends up hating you and kind of fucks him up in a way, you know? So, from caring, what would they do? Gather compilations of rockets crashing, show it to him as like a way to get him to not go through with it. But he was aware of the fact that he believed that shit mattered, deep down. Like you need, bro, that's the thing. You need to, as much as seeking advice from other people is important, no one knows shit. No one knows more than you. No one knows less than you. Everyone just has an amount of information that they know that you may not know or you may know already. But no one actually is like smarter than you are. So it's like,
in a sense, okay, I see where you're going.
It's like tap into yourself also, because there's gonna be moments when the entire world is telling you that this is not the right way to go, and you need to be stubborn, self-aware, and have enough willpower to keep moving. Because if not, you will not be able to launch a rocket in the air and land it after. Because the entire time he's trying to do this, everyone is against it. Everyone. Like this nigga's idols, bro. Nigga, he grew up idolizing, I think, Neil Armstrong and like other like legendary, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think, fucking said on TV that it wasn't. Now he's fully backing Elon because he realized he was wrong, got out of his ego, and he's like, okay, I was wrong. Like, I support you. You prove me wrong. Sick. But like, I think Neil also said it wasn't possible. But niggas just kept like, how are you crazy enough to keep moving forward when everyone tells psychotic. You not to? Exactly. It's like, you have to be crazy. Like, you have to be crazy. Yeah. You don't look any other way than crazy doing that. And it's the whole thing with Kanye and Kid Cudi's thing, the collab album they dropped, like the name Kids See Ghosts. Like, it sounds cool, but like that's literally what it is. Kids see ghosts. You have to see the ghosts, and when everyone tells you that they don't exist because they don't see them, you have to not make yourself not see them too. Right? Because we're all born with this ability, but it just fucking molded out of us. Like they just take it out of you, right? So I'm just ranting at this point.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I don't know.
What else do we want to talk about today? Like before coming, I had a few things I wanted to mention, but
like the main thing I wanted to mention was the Wim Hof thing, because I think that's something that has a lot of good long-term benefits if you do it like consistently.
And also, it's like it's the lowest hanging fruit in terms of like just changing the world. It's health.
It's right there.
Just your breath.
We can do it right now. You can do it at any time. I do it at work. Like, I'll just be at work and I start to feel like slumpy, like tired and like moving a bit, like loopy. I'm just like, and then I'm just fine.
Yeah. Bro, I want to see that normalized. Like, you're on the bus home,
you just see
someone just fucking hyperventilating.
You know, that'd be so fun. But like, I think, bro, I want to lead up to a point where it's perfect because winter's starting. I want to start picking it up more. Cold showers. We're just gonna lead up to the dip. We should do an ice dip. 100% this month or like early December. That, and then I want to get to a point where I just wake up, take my clothes off, stay in my shorts, go outside, and then do the three cycles.
Facts. Yeah,
that's even
sleeping
crazier.
With my clothes on, like sleeping just in my sleeping naked.
Yeah,
very helpful.
Fully just cold exposure, cold immersion.
And there's a lot of research coming out on cold thermogenesis. Like, okay, there's a guy named Jack Kruse, doctor, some sort, whatever. Smart guy, very smart guy. He has kids. And like, he's smart. Like, he knows exactly how to optimize the body. So he teaches all his kids that. And his 9-year-old is beating fucking 20-year-olds at some sport. And they're just like, what the fuck? And no athletes have been able to, like, no athletes are keto adapted to fats. Like, everyone's mostly, it's been carbs, right? Eat spaghetti, pasta, blah, blah, blah. But no one's like on fats. So there's going to be a new generation of athletes that run primarily on like keto diets. They're going to know all this. They're gonna have all this knowledge on cold exposure, fucking saunas, like.
I mean, a lot of. I heard some shit about basketball players taking ice baths.
Yeah, they've been doing this a while. Yeah, like ice baths, but not to the extent like where it's down to the diet, like where you drill it down to where the kids
mixed
are aware of it.
Mixed with the breath work and all. Because Wim Hof method is not just the breathing. That's one thing I took in. It's not just the breathing. Wim Hof method is all three: the breathing, the awareness, and the stretching / mindfulness. There's stretching involved. There's
it's
the
push-ups. It's the cold. It's the concentration, and it's the breath work.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like, kids are not introduced to this at all. But seeing his 9-year-old fucking seeing his 9-year-old beat like 20-year-olds, he got gold. Like, imagine where he's gonna be in 10 years. His prime is gonna last till he's fucking 40.
Yeah, but those things take time, bro.
It does, but the thing is, like,
change is very slow.
Like, the fact that he's a doctor and he just has all this information at the palm of his, you know, like, he could just be like, yo, kid, like, child, do this and watch your performance.
Man.
It's a lot.
But yeah, bro. This shit's crazy, bro. Like, intuition's getting sharper. Like, days don't, like, time, I don't even understand time anymore. Like, I use this to just keep track of shit I have to do. I just have to be somewhere at 5. But to me, like, right now, like, it's not really 3. It just is.
Yeah.
You know, it's and we're going into a new decade, bro. Like,
that's like the craziest thing.
It's like 50 some days left, but it feels like every day feels like a year.
Bro, I fucking forget that I'm 22. I thought I was 21 yesterday. I watched a video, I watched this Gary Vee video, like, some guy's like 21. He's just like talking, like, oh shit, I'm 21. I'm not.
I'm not 21. Oh, one cool thing he said, I hope you saw that video. It's and I mean, Stephen Pressfield says it too in War of Art. Fuck it, but we know this shit. Yin yang. It's like duality. It's like,
remind me.
Don't hold on to one side because the other side happens. Like, we get times will get so good that we forget that they're gonna get bad again, and times get so bad that we forget they're gonna get good again, because we attached to them. Like, when it gets so bad, oh man, this will never end. Oh man, I just wish this could end. Oh fuck, poor me. When it gets so good, it's like, oh shit, I'm the greatest.
The solution is
you need both.
Yeah, the solution, to an extent, like Dada was saying, is nihilism.
Basically,
where you're
destroy.
Destroy. Like,
destroy it all.
None of that is really relevant. You just are.
It's not.
And what helps with that is meditation. That's a very good question that he brought up. Is this path, meditation, Buddhism, whatever, is it nihilism?
Definitely is to some
degree, yeah.
Like, there's some of that. There's
but
some nihilism involved.
The thing is, the root of it is love, because once you realize that everything's connected, like, you literally, I am you. If I punch you, it'll hurt you for a little bit.
Newton's law, bro. Every action.
But then
has
you're gonna
want
to punch me, and that's gonna hurt me eventually.
When I push you, I get pushed back. Like, if I push this wall has bigger mass.
Bro, I feel so stupid. We're basically just talking about shit we've already talked about.
But it's sick.
All the time.
But it's sick. It's like, how do affirmations work? You have to say the same shit over and over again. It's like accepted by your subconscious. Like, saying this now, I believe it way more than saying it in episode, I don't know, 15 or some shit.
Oh man, the difference between, like,
exactly, bro. We've been saying this since episode 7. Episode 7 or 8, I think, is why you should start meditating now.
Yeah, when I got back from the Vipassana.
But back then, what I was saying, I was just saying it. Now, like, I'm feeling this shit. Like, now it's like, I'm saying it to you because it's like, I've realized this shit. Like, I was saying it back then, but now I'm telling you because I've realized, like, I've lived this shit that I've been saying since episode 7, and it's real. It's real. Like, you're creating your life all the time.
This itself is like a meditation practice.
Oh, it is. Because when we snap out of it, it's like,
bro, and we're literally pulling the realities we want towards us.
That's why we're doing it.
Like, fucking, we had that episode 30 with Dada. Who the fuck knew that was gonna happen?
If we never started, or if we started a week later, this would have never happened. Just starting like a day later, it wouldn't have probably happened. Shit would have probably been massively different, because that episode would have probably ended up being different, because Adam, who was the first one, just happened to be there, and we're like, oh sure, come through. We could have just done it solo and would have ended up being something completely different. Bro, that's why niggas get anxiety. Like, bro, just choosing this room instead of another room probably made our lives so completely different. Yeah. Like, it's whatever. It's like, don't take compliments personal, because if you start to hold on to compliments, when you get the opposite, it's gonna affect you as much as the positive affects you. So when you get a compliment, sick, thank you and shit, but like, don't absorb it too much. Like, be grateful. Of course.
What new things, like, have you been practicing lately? Just anything.
I've been meditating more consistently, although I don't think I did it yesterday. I think it's been a very, I'm aware of the struggle now of, like, how you wake up in the morning, and I know that, like, like how you start really matters. So I'm trying to pay more attention to how I start my mornings. But with finishing yin, like my schedule doesn't make any sense. But other than that, I've been reading more, and I've been trying to practice guitar a bit more because I really want to get good at it for the next project, which is going to be like the first real one that I'm going to take time on, and probably like a year instead of a month. This is going to be my first record that I spend more than a month working on. So I made Scouts in a month. So imagine what I can do in fucking 7 to 8, you know? And that's one thing too. It's I'm very fucking sick. That's it. Like I'm very sick. That's
what
it.
What do you mean?
Like that's what I'm practicing.
Like, you have an illness, or you are the illness?
No, like I am the illness. I have one. Doctor said, what they say? Doctor said I'm the illest because I'm suffering from realness. It's like, bro, like that's what's going on. It's like I'm looking at Ye, Steve, Bill, Tesla, Einstein, and I'm like, fuck you all. Like how are you different than me? You're not. I probably can't do something as big as fucking theory of relativity, but I could do something as impactful as. It won't be as smart and sophisticated. It will be. It'll just be in a different thing.
It'll just be your own language.
It's like, how is Ye pushing hip hop forward different than Einstein starting the theory of relativity? It's not. It's different fields. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing still. I trash at everything I do still, but I'm very sick. But yeah, how about you? Also, fuck school.
Yeah.
Fully dropped out.
No, you didn't. Still spending money on it.
Yeah, this is the last semester.
I'm enjoying school a little bit.
My last semester.
Like I have like 2 classes. I have one class that I enjoy.
It's so trash, bro.
It's nice, like social innovation. You know, collaborating.
You don't sound too excited.
That's because a little bit. Just because like it's in the context of a classroom, man. It's like, you know, like let's fucking implement it in the real world. Like,
yeah, of course. Anyways, thanks guys. Whatever. We've just been tooting.
Like the only real thing, 2 things that I've changed. Reading way more. Like the book that Dada gave us, bro. I'm flying through that shit. I'm like a third done.
Fire.
And I'm usually like, you know me. I'm fucking slow reading books. This one's really good.
Yeah.
I'll just like give an overview of it, but it's like basically of this spiritual teacher he's just born. He's born Jesus, but he kind of just like slips in. Like, nah, like whatever, right? Like probably saw it on my story. Like the moment he was born, they were feeding him from like a cotton ball, like milk. He just grabbed the fucking bottle and drank it. Everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And then he snapped out. He's like, "Shit, I've disturbed.
They're onto me.
And like it's just explaining all his life from when he's a kid to like eventually like he's gonna grow up and develop an Andamarga. But he's like 6 years old and reading books, like going out, meditating, riding tigers. It's fucking crazy.
That's sick.
And it's kind of like it's like the Jesus example. It's like you can literally be him. Like
you are him,
but you're not, because he's born that way. He's inherently just fucking is. It's like super consciousness.
Yeah.
That's a very good book.
Singularity, bro.
Yeah.
What's the second thing?
Second thing is I've been like loving the cold, bro. Like I've been taking like 5-minute cold showers. Like I can trick myself into just enjoying it, thinking it's hot. Only like the first 10 seconds it's like pretty shitty.
Yeah.
But after that it's like it's so cozy.
The way I do it now, just to not procrastinate out of it, because if I do it straight cold, like my entire being tells me to get out. So I'm just easing my way into it, just going warm to cold. That's way easier. Like I'll
for
just
me,
be warm.
it's not. For me, I hesitate.
Really?
Yeah. But
nah,
what's
like
helped
it's
me
so
is
easy to just go from warm to cold.
Because you know, like right before you get in the shower, it's like fuck, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing is like everything I do right before the shower, like okay, I'm getting naked. I'm just doing that. I'm locking the door. That's the only thing I'm doing. I'm taking 1 step, taking 2 steps.
You're stepping in. You're like remaining conscious. You're not
remaining conscious. I'm not thinking of
into
anything else other than what I'm doing right now.
you're not going into the animalistic instinct, because that's what kicks in before like fight or flight.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck.
And I'm literally like stepping in 1 foot, the other foot, closing the curtains. And then when I have my handle, I'm not even thinking it's going to be cold. I'm just thinking, twist my wrist and then pull the thing. And then I'm just in. And it's like nothing.
Yeah. Fire. So
because at that point, it's not even, there's no more suffering. It's just sensation.
Yeah. Everything is just sensations. When you finish the piece and you put it out and someone buys it, you feeling good is not even because of the piece being sold.
Yeah.
It's because of fucking sensations in your body.
Facts.
That's why you should never associate with them shits. Like everything just is. Aside from the work, nothing matters.
And it's so hard, like
everything else is byproduct.
Yeah, what time is it? Oh shit. Last thing. It's so hard to like just dissociate from that emotion, from like all those sensations, bro. Like especially if you don't have a practice.
It's very hard.
Fuck, it's impossible.
It's like, it sounds sick theoretically. It's like attachment and desires lead to suffering.
Like, remember when we were recording the Not Drugs?
Attachments.
Remember when we were recording the Not Drugs and I flicked Ala's finger and she's like, ow, it hurts. I'm like, shut up. Just fucking observe the sensation. Yeah.
It's all sensations. But it's hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Buddha had to fucking sit under a tree for like however long.
Yeah.
So it's like, it sounds cool, but it's in practice it's fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Because you're not
humans
want to
force
attach
your will onto it.
Like, I can't just be. I have to be Geo. Like, you're born, and the first thing they say is, "What is it? What will you name it? What is he gonna be?" Before you even out, niggas are fucking planning your life out, putting labels on you.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about Zen Buddhism. Like, just this is not a harmonica.
Bro. Me, when I had my first kid, I'm not even gonna name him, bro. I'm not even gonna touch him. Like, I'm not even gonna recognize that he's like alive. Just fuck it, bro. Like, I'm just gonna let him be, you know.
What is he? I don't know.
No, he'll figure it out.
He is.
Yeah, just let him figure it out on his own. And don't name your children. Stop naming your children.
Stop naming your fucking children. It's a new decade, nigga. Bro. Like, change, nigga. God damn. Just give them numbers or some shit. Like, so you can remember and keep track. Anyways, yeah, give us money or whatever.
Yeah, give us money, though.
Like, please.
Yeah. We're starving.
I just want to change shit, bro. I need money to do that. Fuck. Bro. Whatever.
No, last thing. Say it.
No.
Okay.